Where's the audio?
Did we lose Jay?
I think we lost Jay.
What are we looking for?
We lost Jay.
All right, well, that's all right. All right, I am going to call the meeting to order.
Is it recording? Hold on.
Yes, we have the right recording button.
Beautiful.
Yes, good.
Oh. Jay's back, Jay's back.
Try again.
Hannah, can you hear me?
No, we can't hear you, Jay.
Oh, we can't hear this either. Can anyone else talk?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go.
Now,
There we go.
all right,
Okay.
now we hear you. Sorry.
So Hannah, my internet connection is, it's from the 1990s, I think.
It's all right. I can do it. And
Okay.
hold over.
So should we go ahead and move forward with Melanie stepping in? Take you freezing as a yes.
All right, Hannah, will you do the roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioners present and establishing a quorum. Commissioners Bull, Blair, Dawkins, Nugent, Lewis, Lockhart, and Walker.
All right, moving on to public comments. Members of the audience may speak to the Planning Commission on any issue related to the city of Monroe. Comments by individuals are limited to 3 minutes. The commission usually does not respond to matters brought up during audience participation and may, if appropriate, address the matter at a subsequent meeting. If you are attending the meeting virtually, please indicate that you would like to speak by clicking the raise hand button, and the chair will call on attendees to speak at the appropriate time. Attendees can alternatively submit written comments to be read into the record at the time of the meeting. All written comments must be received prior to 5 p.m. on the day of the meeting and must be 350 words or less. You can submit to Hannah Maynard, which is hmaynard@monroewa.gov.
We did not receive any written comments. We do have someone in the audience. If you'd like to submit comment, please raise your hand.
No. All right, we're closing public comments. Approval of minutes from August 14th, 2023. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Jake.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Janelle. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, motion passes. And we do have a public hearing tonight on our capital facilities plan update. And let's see here. Anybody listening to the recording, bear with me. This is the first meeting that I have led as vice chair. So this is first time for me. So let's see.
I think can somebody make a motion to open?
Is the thing, yeah, do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
I make a motion to open the citizen portion of the public hearing on the capital facilities plan update, capital improvement plan, 2024 to 2029.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay.
I second that.
The presentation.
And staff will give the presentation.
This will look very familiar as you saw it a couple weeks ago. Just kind of a reminder of what we're doing this evening. Next slide. So under the Growth Management Act, we are required to adopt a capital facilities plan. And within that capital facilities plan is a 6-year financing document, which we commonly refer to as the capital improvement plan. And the city of Monroe has chosen to update that annually. It includes not only the transportation projects, which are also adopted by the Transportation Improvement Plan under a different process, but parks, utilities, infrastructure, municipal campus, and such. And so as it was presented, so that's the big state framework. And then we also, next slide. Everything now, we're starting to use the lens of Imagine Monroe and in implementing the goals of healthy, natural, and built environment, sustain and improve regional connections, a lively center, community-centered infrastructure, and safe place for all. Next slide. And then the base for the 20-year plan. So you got your 20-year plan, and then there's 6-year that gets updated every year for the city of Monroe, is based on what was adopted in 2015, with the exception of the parks plan, which was adopted in 2022, the PROS plan. And so that's the basis. Chapter 8 of the comprehensive plan really just lays out the goals and policies. And then the plan documents themselves are in the appendices. G and H are, H has all of the water, sewer, and stormwater facilities. G has the municipal campus, fire, police, and then in the PROS plan, those capital projects are both broken out in the 20-year as well as the 6-year physically constrained. And so that's what some of the things we look at when we're looking at the projects. And then, next slide, it kind of talks about where you find all of these plans. And then again, as a reminder for the Planning Commission, your role is to say, what we're looking at in that 6-year plan, is it consistent with what we've already adopted? It's not, you don't get the opportunity to add or change projects. They're already adopted, which is the process you will be doing with the comprehensive plan update. So next slide. The process we go through annually is we start with a budget from the previous year. Planning Commission's duty is also to hold this public hearing, take public comment, and then forward a recommendation to City Council. After this, it will go to the council, the P3 committee, which is Parks, Public Works, and Planning. Then after that, it will actually be merged in with the budget process, because this comp plan amendment is concurrent with our budget process. It has to do with finance. And then at the very end, we send the adopted plan to the Department of Commerce, because it's a comprehensive plan update. Next slide. And so in your packets, you have the full list of projects. There are a total of 39, and they are broken out into water, sewer, stormwater, municipal facilities, streets or transportation, and parks. And the total amount for this 6-year period is $27.3 million. That does not mean everything's being spent in 1 year. It's laid out by year. And again, this is a physically constrained plan, list of projects. Next slide. This just gives you the breakout by how much is it for each category. And then I'm going to quickly go through these. These are the examples that were provided. Just highlighting again, the parks plan comes directly out of the 2022 PROS plan. Next one. Next slide, sorry. Then out of the crosswalk safety, that's actually in the transportation element and plan. Utilities, again, all of these are in appendices H. Municipal campus, next slide, is in appendix G. And then the road part is also in the transportation plan. And then at the very end, this was Jakeh's presentation, and he really talked about this is a cyclical process. We begin with a budget, we go through, we look at our plans, this process, and so this gets updated annually. So that's the presentation. So in your packet, just again highlights the legislative requirements of why we're doing this. The highlights of the plans or the projects that are in the current proposal, which budget they're coming out of, then the complete list, and then also for your consideration is the Planning Commission findings of fact and conclusions of law if you are ready after tonight's hearing, we'll be asking you to consider that. Ben Swanson is available for parks projects, and John Landy can help if you have specific questions about any of the other public works projects. And we are happy to answer any additional questions.
All right, commissioners, do you have any questions to ask staff?
Do we have to close the citizen portion first?
No,
Still
we're in the staff presentation. We're not in the.
I have a question, a parks question. On the budget, it lists North Hill Park Design and Development, and then it also lists Trombley Park Design. I thought that North Hill Park was the same thing as Trombley Park.
Let me just check and make sure it was a duplicate. See if it's a duplicate.
They're different amounts in the categories for the years.
Sorry, I'm still scrolling down. So that if you see the North Hill one, that accurately reflects what Trombley is supposed to be doing. And then with the Trombley Park Design, that one was, I don't know why that was carried forward. That was actually for the initial phase that we already went through. So I'll go ahead and edit that one out. The one that's Trombley Hill, we can go ahead and delete that off the list.
So they'll be merged and renamed?
No, we'll just remove the Trombley. For some reason, that was carried forward and it's already been done for the Trombley part. That was the design, the public input process. And I'm not sure what happened or why that was carried forward on the agenda bill. So we'll just take everything that you see under the Trombley line and remove it. And that North Hill, which is essentially Trombley Park, will stay.
I still have one other question about parks. On Blueberry play equipment, there's no money on any of those. Is that just one of those ones that's like a placeholder if you get a grant? But I thought it had to have some money on the line.
So that one we're leaving in there because we plan on doing it, and hopefully we'll be starting here in a few weeks. But if weather moves in and just turns really, really bad, then we're going to take those funds and shift them over to next year. So it'll technically still be in the CIP.
So just to make sure that the money is in 2023 then, that's why it's not showing on this. This is 24.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Nope. All right. And now we can open up the public testimony. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to open the public comment portion of the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, do we have anyone who is wishing to speak? You have 3 minutes.
Just like the earlier public comment period, you can raise your hand and I will give you the ability to speak.
Nope. All right, looks like we don't have any public comment this evening. Do we have a motion to close the public testimony portion of the hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public testimony portion of the hearing.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I second them. Oh, there you go, Kelsey.
I'll second it.
All in
You can hear
favor?
me?
Yes, yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's see here. And then, okay, we close that. And then, do we have we have commission deliberation. Are there any comments? The commissioners have any comments? Nope. Okay. Well, thank you, staff, for doing the presentation for us. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Now, is there a motion for action on the proposal? Which can be found in your packets, the exact language. Correct.
I will make a motion to recommend the planning commission adopt the findings of fact and conclusions of law, authorizes the planning commission chair to sign the findings on behalf of the commission, and recommend that the Monroe City Council approve the 2024 to 2029 six-year capital improvement plan update to the capital facilities plan
With the two corrections.
with the two corrections that were noted in the parks budget.
Excellent. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Walker. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion passes. And that, I believe, is it. So moving on to new business, which is a staff report.
Thank you, John.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ben.
Bye then. Okay. So we have the Community Development Department monthly report for July of 2023. As always, we will start at the top and work our way down. So we'll start with the project review for the month. Our project review this month, which Ben Swanson, if he's still here, is familiar with. The planning department held a public hearing in front of the hearing examiner for a shoreline conditional use permit for new pickleball courts down here at the Sky River Park. Anita Marrero presented and the hearing examiner approved the permit. The project highlight for the month is the City Hall renovation site plan review. We received the application back in April for the site plan review. That's the land use portion before they can apply for their building permits. It was reviewed by planning, fire, engineering, building, and water quality over the course of 2 months. And the application was approved. And so now they're in for the building and engineering permit reviews. And there you can see the artist rendering of what future City Hall is going to look like. We only had one pre-application meeting in the month of July. It was for proposed townhomes at 331 South Lewis Street and a boundary line adjustment at the same property. For building permits in the month of July, it was the same as June for single family homes. Only 4 were issued and 7 commercial TI building permits were issued. So that's 2 more than June. Building inspections, we had 242 inspections in July, just down a little bit from the month before. Moving on, not much has changed in the way of current projects in review. A couple civil designs have been approved. The Cooper Ridge preliminary plat has been approved, and the Duval Rio Vista has been approved as well. And the Sky River pickleball courts has been approved. Like I said, the same number of single-family permits was issued in July as in June. That would be 4. And just a note here at the end of the report, you'll find some handouts that our building department has been working really tirelessly on to spread some awareness on the significant code changes with the IRC, IDC. They've been working with other jurisdictions on creating these handouts, and they've turned out really great. You can see all of the other jurisdictions that they've worked with have their city logos on those forms. Beyond that, scrolling down. Kate, maybe you can comment on this, but anything new with comp plan?
Yeah, there's actually, there's a couple of things I wanted to note for the commission. The first, the Sky River pickleball, because that's in the shoreline, the permit application actually goes to the Department of Ecology for review. So we've already done that. It's a 21-day review. So we're in that process. I believe we're still hoping it can be under construction before the rainy season starts, but that's the update on that. Then for the comprehensive plan, we did not receive any citizen, oh, we have a question.
Oh, Commissioner Dawkins?
I was just wondering where that the pickleball court is going to be.
It's going to be between the parking lot and between basically the Boys and Girls Club, that parking lot, and then the children's play equipment. So it will be along that white fence that separates the park from the parking area.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. We did not receive any applications for the 2023-2024 docket, so we're just sticking with our regular comprehensive plan projects. The school district capital facility plans and impact fees that you saw a couple months ago, that's all approved. Let's see here, for our comp plan process, we are hoping to have the land use scenarios, I want to say it's like the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then the community advisory committee, we've heard from everyone but 2 members, I believe. So for representing the planning commission, it will be Chairman Bull and Commissioner Blair. And then we will be scheduling those meetings. I believe they're every couple of weeks in the evening, and we'll be sitting out a doodle poll on that. And then we'll be out in the public again saying, these are the scenarios that came from everything that we've heard and the allocations that we need. So we're expecting to be back out in the public at the end of September, October, November. And then the plan development itself will be seen in early 2024. So it's still on track. And then I did want to give you a couple updates on these annexations. They've been hanging out for a couple of years. Or not a couple of years, a year. The Connor annexation, it's still that single property. And when we sent the application to the county, they had concerns with the legal description. So staff has been working with the applicant to get that corrected. It's still in their court to revise the legal description. And then the North 41, there's been a change in applicant. The project itself has not changed, but Tom DeDonato has been working with Patrick McCourt. If you know that name, he's a developer out of Lake Stevens. So I expect that project will be moving along a little bit more quickly now that the project has changed hands. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
I have one question. about the pre-app meeting for the 331 South Lewis Street.
Yeah.
So that is an area that we were hearing a lot of feedback from at the citizen input. What were those called? When we had the meetings with people,
Yeah.
They could do the scenarios and stuff. That was an area that some people had identified as possibly having retail on the bottom with the multifamily on top. And so what's currently zoned there is not that, right? It doesn't have the retail component.
Yeah, that is south, is it? Should have this memorized. Madison, I believe, is the change in the designations. South of Madison is residential 7 units per acre. And then the north side, it has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, it's encouraged to be the mixed use. What this applicant, my understanding is this application is not moving forward. There's another party that is looking at the property. Still not, it would not be a mixed use though.
So if the applicant moved forward under the current comp plan with the current regulations, we wouldn't have time to implement anything from the comp plan in new code zoning things until like a whole nother year after that. So as long as this goes through before like 2025, it would be likely to be just the residential and not be able to capture that new idea that people were throwing out there.
Yeah, for this, this area is outside of the boundaries of the downtown, the historic downtown. So if they come through, if they apply anytime before we change the comp plan or zoning, it's called vesting. They lock in under whatever current development code is. So until and that's assuming there's also an if the council, if you change it. So
right.
Yes, it would only be, and it's not only just residential, it's detached residential. So it's not even higher density.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions from commissioners? All right, moving on to discussion. We can start with Commissioner Blair, since you're in the room.
Sure. Recently, things that I've been involved in the community, some school superintendent meetings where I heard from public about wanting to see more collaboration between like the city and the school on things such as safe walking paths to school, not meaning like trails, but like just safety on the streets to school. And also some of gathering places, possibilities, and some of the possible facilities in shared, some kind of commitment to share some of the spaces that the school district has. That's some input I heard from community members at those meetings. And then of course, some of the fun stuff that's been going on, the parade, which this year I thought was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I don't know what seemed different, but it was very lively and seemed great. And the city staff, of course, always do such a good job preparing for that in advance, so it goes smoothly. And then, of course, the fair down at the Snohomish County Fairgrounds. That has been a great community event. I saw a lot of local people there and a lot of people enjoying themselves. So that's what I've got.
Thank you. Commissioner Dawkins?
Can you hear me? All right. Not much, but I have been noticing there's a huge uptick in people at the beaches on the Skycomish and seeing a lot more foot traffic across the bridge. I actually saw someone carrying their dog across it because that sidewalk is so small, like 2 people can't walk on the bridge together. And I wanted to take like some people from out of town there, but their children were just too small to cross that bridge. So with all this new signage and everything coming into the Skycomish, is like back to kind of making it safe for pedestrians. So that's all I have.
Commissioner Nugent?
I just want to say thanks for all the presentations tonight and thanks for staff for all the putting together of our meeting and having to make this shift to the parks. So I'm sure that was a little bit fun tonight. I did appreciate, the police have kind of stepped up, some patrols with all the, shifts in traffic. It's kind of shifted how people are driving on, the Columbia Street, and should know the street right up the street from me where everybody's whipping around. But my concern is always with kids going back to school. The police have started patrolling that area a little better, which I greatly appreciate because people take it too fast, and it's a heavily walked route to Frank Wagner and bus stops for the high schoolers and middle schoolers. And it kind of connects up with Blueberry Lane. So it's been heavily impacted with the Blueberry Lane revisions. And then of course with the Main Street traffic, people are learning different ways to get through town. So I've appreciated the police helping out with some of that. And then of course the police, they're great traffic navigation with the fair, which I always appreciate every year because I have teens who work the fair, which has been fabulous. They do a fabulous job directing traffic and getting everybody to pay attention. So it just helps make everything flow so much better. And I feel like traffic is flowing better this year with, I don't know if they're just helping to make everybody move along, or I don't know, it just feels like it's flowing really nicely this year. So anyways, it's been great. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Commissioner Lewis?
I don't have anything tonight. I just want to say, as always, thank you, Hannah and Kate, for being so amazing and always keeping the flow of the meetings and just being prepared. I appreciate that. And good job to Miss Mellon, Commissioner Lockhart, for her first meeting. You did an awesome job.
Thank you. Commissioner Walker?
Yeah, just wanted to echo Commissioner Lewis's comments. Great job, Melanie. That was like our best public hearing I think we've done yet. So congrats to all my fellow commissioners on that. I think we're finally getting the hang of it. I was gonna say the same thing, Liz. The traffic with the fair this year has seemed to be better. Obviously, it's still stacking up the same, but it's flowing. So that's good. Went to the parade with my family this weekend, and like Brandy said, there was something really fun about it. Maybe it was the pirates and the cannon or something, but it was a great time, and I think it went off without a hitch. So as always, Chamber did a great job with that. Other than that, going to the fair, it's weird not having that middle barn there. I don't know if you guys have been yet, but it's a big gravel spot where the historic, I don't even know what you called that thing, but fair's going great. Went to Monster Trucks this weekend. It was pretty cool. It was a packed house. So attendance at the fair is way up, it seems like. So happy. Other than that, I got nothing else. Thank you guys for a good session.
Commissioner Bull, is your internet going to allow you to comment?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I really apologize. I am not at home and my internet connection is really slow. So if I click off or something, I do apologize. Just wanted to reiterate, Melanie, thank you very much for last minute taking over chair duties and running the meeting so well. Just really appreciate it. Thank you.
And then I also went to the parade this weekend. It was fantastic. And I just think it's kind of getting over that kind of COVID hangover hump with more people showing up and being out there. And then I just feel like, I don't know if there were more entries technically, but it just flowed really well this year. So it was really fun to be out there. My family did the fair on Friday and we did the Monster Trucks Friday. So that's always a blast. My kids stayed up and active longer than they've ever done before because they're not very old, but they had a good time. We all had a good time. And I know it's technically county since it's the fairgrounds, but it's just so fun to have that right here in our backyard, to have that here in Monroe. So it's one of the many things that drew my family here and that'll keep my family here and stuff. So just fun times in the summer. And then next week, kids go back to school. I don't know how that happened so fast. Mixed emotions, because I'm kind of like, here, teachers, take them. And then also, wow, summer went really fast. So yes, just be careful. Anybody commuting out there, be careful on the roads, because the kids will be walking around and they may pay less attention than you do because they're kids. So just slow it down if you aren't already doing so. And good luck back to school, kids. So, thank you, staff, for everything tonight. And as always, you have, plenty of information and you're always ready to answer our questions. So thank you very much. Do we have any comments from staff?
Well, we're not sure where we're gonna have our next meeting. Hannah reminded me, you have a joint meeting on September 11th to go over some of the middle housing materials. And the space we're in today was decided it was better than our other alternative, which is the court space, which is not large enough for 2 bodies. So as soon as we figure out where we're gonna host that meeting, we will let you know at the earliest convenience. The next meeting though, Anita will be leading you through the middle housing. We will have somebody from Department of Commerce also available. Our consultant will also be online providing some additional information. So that's the only announcement I can think of, and we're learning to move on the fly.
Lots of on the fly.
So was there a cannon in the fair parade?
Yes.
Because I was at my friend's apartment on Saturday and we were both like, oh my God, what was that sound? It was that a cannon.
Pirates.
There
It
was
got some use.
It did come with a siren warning ahead of time, and Choose Monroe did put out a warning like a couple days ahead of time.
So, but yeah, I didn't have anything, but thank you for confirming that there was actually a cannon going on.
The guy setting it off wasn't even wearing earmuffs either. Melanie, I don't know if you noticed, but he was just doing this. And I can tell you, standing a distance away, I was like, I felt my brain get rocked. So
Yeah, shaking her
sending
apartment
prayers
with
to that man.
Commissioner Nugent.
I was just curious, is our joint meeting gonna be at its normal time or will we have a different time?
No, it'll be 7 o'clock, 7 to 9.
I just need to, if I have to adjust my calendar, I gotta have notice, just.
Yeah, no.
As you guys know, I will miss it or be late or something, so, sorry. Thank you.
Did you have anything else to add, Hannah?
No, that's it.
All right, well, then we can go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner Blair.
I'll second.
Second. Thank you, Commissioner Walker. All in favor?
Bye.
Bye.
Yay.
Thank you.
Fast meeting.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.